Well, we are going. Okay, so we're going to get started. The theme for tonight's call is going to be the importance of sharing your story, how to share your story, and how to, like turn that into an invite. The last part, Allie touched on a little bit when she was doing our guest speaker call. If you haven't watched that call, you need to.
Yeah.
Because it's the bomb.
Or rewatch it.
Yeah, or rewatch it. I rewatched it. I had it just like the audio on in the background the other day because I don't know. I just every now and then I get like stuck on inviting. I literally messaged Kayla and I was like, "What does your script look like these days?" Because I need to like do a little refresh because I've noticed that my invites were getting stale. My inbox was getting dry, and I was like, "It's not like my content has actually gotten better. I've been really proud of my content the past couple weeks." But like it's not translating into people, wanting to go on this journey with me. And so I did a little refresh and I've got some conversations going. And if you guys are struggling with, sending out invites and there are always going to be people that either leave you ghosted or aren't interested, and that's fine. That's the name of the game. But if you notice it happening more often than not, take a look at your invite and do a little refresh on it because maybe people just want to hear something different. There wasn't anything wrong with my initial invite. The script has worked plenty, but sometimes it's good for a little facelift.
And I switched mine up just recently, which all of y'all know what it is by now because I feel like I've shared it to everyone. But that was not what I was using like even a month or so ago. Like you have to keep it fresh. And I've still have had people that aren't replying back to me, or they're already in a group. One of the invites today, I sent out 25 today. And one of them said that she's already in a group, but thanks for thinking about her and whatever. And it was just like, okay, cool. But I've learned not to let them get me down because some of these people that have been a part of groups already have a coach. I hate to say it, y'all, but they've some of them have come back to me wanting to be a part of our community and switch to me as their coach. Because they just enrolled and they just got assigned a coach. And so, I really pride ourselves on knowing our girls and having the relationships with all of our girls. And so some of these people I've been hearing from, they're just not getting like any attention from their coach because the coach is like a top coach and they just don't have a lot of engagement with their actual people. So we've got something special here for sure.
Yeah, we definitely have something special to offer. I've been running into the same thing that Kayla has. I've had several people reach out to me over the past month and just saying, like they either enrolled online and they don't have a coach and they want a community, or in the past, they have been in other groups with a little bit less support and they're either weary of the community, like rejoining, or they came to me looking for a community because it translates. And that's part of the reason that it's so important for us to share, what we do as coaches and how we help people and the groups that we offer, because what we do offer people is something truly special. I've been in a group with the top coach and I love my coach with all my heart. She's the bomb. But it is a very different community base where like if you don't engage, that's just not, if you don't engage, then you're not there. And
right.
That's what I signed up for, and that's fine, and it works for some people, but it doesn't work for others. And a lot of people do enjoy how hands-on we are with our people, and it doesn't go unappreciated, even if people don't say it as often. They just might not know better, or they might not say it, but it really does mean the world. And it'll mean that you're going to, continue to grow your community the more that people see you pour into them. So, Kayla, did you have anything that you wanted to start off the call with? If not, I can.
I've got just different things, but if you want to start, excuse me, you can go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So I wanted to touch base on going over, I have notes on my computer, so you just need like looking that way. I'm going to talk about sharing your story. You know, there's a few different components to it. There's developing your story. So, you know, that goes back to what me and Caleb said a million times, is find your 5 things. Find your 5 things that are completely not related to Beachbody. I promise you have them, because Beachbody is new to your life within the past year for most of you guys. So you were something before. You know, find your 5 things, hone in on them. Don't, you know, I've noticed too, focusing your, and not from our coaches, but from other people that have struggled, is focusing your entire page on getting people into your groups can be a little silly. So the more that you share your story, the more that you are authentic and real and relevant to people, you are providing content on your page that people can pull from, people can get something from you, aka the reason that you're sharing your story. The more you share and the less you're focusing on just like challenge group,
Yeah.
the more that you are going to see people wanting to join you. I know it can be a little bit scary to put yourself out there, but I can guarantee that 100% of my girls and 100% of Kayla's girls never would be on this call or listening to this call if we hadn't just gotten vulnerable, gotten out of the way, and shared something that spoke to us. So, you know, a part of that is, you know, leaving breadcrumbs in our different posts, like telling different pieces of your story, even if it's little. One thing that I loved the other day, Ashley posted, Ashley Molstad posted this photo of when we were in LA, and there's this, here, let me see if I can, let's see, find it here really quick. Let's see. It made me laugh, because I was like, oh, wow, yeah, this is the coach that I signed up with. And this is exactly what makes me love her. Okay, share my screen. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Yeah, okay. So it's this post right here, where she's like just being goofy. She's like acting like she's peeing in the pool and all this. And then her caption on it was, "Hi, my name is Ashley, top coach and highly successful CEO of $1 million business with no shame, no class, and no fucks to give. I do, however, have a big heart, big dreams, and live a very big and full life." And I love this because the picture is hilarious. And second of all, it is a short caption that tells you a lot about her. And if she didn't have people, you know, that were already on her page and familiar with who she is, people could see that picture and be like, that's funny. And then read the caption and be like, oh, she looks like she has something that I want to look into. Mm-hmm. And she has eyes on her page, and that is, you know, the name of the game. That's part of what we do. It's the importance of sharing your story, because even little traction things like that with our, you know, breadcrumbs, like I said, breadcrumbing Ashley's story in there, that is, you know, like a key piece that is going to lead people to other posts of hers where she does talk about her boot camps and stuff like that.
Something that I just had like an epiphany about this week was I don't always have to have like a like I can post something. It doesn't have to be about accountability group. It doesn't have to be about like an invite to the accountability group, and still use those likes as people to invite. So long I was just overthinking it, and I was like, I thought every couple of days I needed to like constantly throw out an invite there, and I'm like, no, I don't have to, because I'm going to reach out to clearly these people that liked a funny photo or something funny, are interested, or not necessarily interested in the accountability group, but they've been watching, they know what it's about and things like that. And even if they don't, it's still just me kind of breadcrumbing and letting them know, like, I have an opportunity for them if they want to learn more. So you don't always have to be like, hey, if you want to join my accountability group, send me a message or drop an emoji or whatever. Because honestly, that stuff is just not working for me and really hasn't worked for me that much, like some other coaches do.
Yeah. Some coaches have really great traction with getting people to drop emojis. I know several of them just on Ashley's team and stuff, and that's great that that works for them. There are a lot of people, myself and Kayla included, it just doesn't get a lot of traction for, and that's fine. It just means that we need to approach things differently, which means, you know, creating posts that are relatable to other people, whether it's humor, whether it's being authentic, and kind of pulling at the heartstrings a little bit. Those are things that you can invite from that have nothing to do with the accountability group. Here, let me just, I love that I can like share my Instagram with you guys on here. I don't have to act like you guys can see my phone. So, you know, one thing earlier, I was like, okay, I need to get out my invites because I have been Suckosaurus Rex over here about inviting. And so I've got my post here. So this is my Instagram feed. I made this post the other day, and this picture is actually from my sister's rehearsal dinner back in August. So if you think you need new fresh content, you know, to post, you don't. But I had taken this selfie, and a fun fact was prior to April of last year, I do not know the last time that I voluntarily wore a dress. I didn't think that I belonged in them. I didn't think, you know, it was like plus size people. I definitely wouldn't have ever wore heels. And then in this picture of my sister's rehearsal dinner, I have been doing Lift 4. I've been feeling great. I've been coaching, and I just felt good. And I realized that I was in a strapless dress where you could see my legs, and I was wearing heels. And that was just something completely unheard of for me. And so I found that picture on my phone, and I was like, you know what? I need to talk about this, because there are a lot of people who think that they can't do this. So in my caption, and it doesn't have to ever be, you know, super long. I mix up short and long captions, but this is, you know, talking about people who feel like they can't rock the dress or the heels or show their shoulders or their flabby arms, you know, stuff like that. These, like keywords that pull to people, you know, talking about flabby arms. Everybody, or a lot of people, you know, complain about their arms, but they don't really talk about them. So you see that on someone's Instagram and you're like, oh, that's me too. So I've got this post, and I've got a ton of invites to show out from, or to get out from it for likes and comments. But at no point did I talk about my accountability group. However, in my invite, I tell them, because the last line of my caption is, you deserve to be here, you deserve to feel this good. In my invite, I'm talking about how in our group, we talk a lot about self-love and how to make yourself feel good now working forward as well. So it's just ways to pull, you know, people in, breadcrumbing still, and how to invite them from there.
But, you know, kind of talking about like the post and stuff, if you're not sharing in some way, shape, or form, it's going to make it difficult for you guys to invite people. You're going to have to like really go back to like finding people and then going and inviting them. But if you're sharing your content and you're posting things, and you're posting more than just like one type of thing, if that makes sense. Like I don't post a lot about the boys. Like every 3 or 4 posts, I'll post about them just to be like, hey, I'm a mom, I've got twins, you know? But that's not all I'm going to post about. Okay. And so I'll just mix them in the mix. And, you know, I try to throw out like, I took a mirror selfie the other day of just like me and athleisure, and what did it say? It was like the most simple thing ever.
Do you want me to pull it up?
I got it right here. So it was just me in athleisure, you know, just showing like, it says, if athleisure clothing and unmade beds are wrong, then I don't want to be right. #Saturdays. I got a lot of engagement for a Saturday post of mine. Normally my Saturdays are hit or miss, but it had nothing to do with it. It showed I love fashion, I love athleisure, I love fun shoes and stuff like that. And so it was just a way for me to get some engagement and invite from that post, even though it has nothing to do with, hey, you want to join my accountability group? It had nothing to do with that. It's just people that like, to me, if I like your post, it's because I feel like I've got something in common with you. Like I'm like, yeah, like I feel it. I love it. And so those may be people in that post that have never really like maybe shown interest in like my accountability group post or something like that. But like, this is my chance to kind of like talk to them and connect with them. So
Yeah, absolutely. And, like Kayla said, it's an opportunity to connect with people. And that is the most important part of sharing your story, is finding ways to connect with people that are outside of health and fitness, especially because, or, even might pertain to health and fitness, but aren't a direct invite, because that is how people get to know you, but it's how people make a connection. Most people, if people were going to sign up with us because we posted an invite post all the time, they would already be here, because we've already done that. People are like, I just want to remind you guys, like, and this is pretty obvious, but you have to think of your followers as human beings with feelings. We have to connect with them on an emotional level. We have to connect with them the same way that we've connected with you guys, and teach them about us, and, why they can relate to us, and why they would want to share such an intimate journey. It's very hard to get people to sign up in the first place, because people don't want to invest in themselves 9 times out of 10. So, by connecting with them, we are sharing a very intimate journey, because they are having to focus on themselves. They are having to get down to the nitty gritty. And sometimes they are 100% ready to go, no bars held, and they're rearing. Or other times, like with me, when I joined Ashley, I was great, I regressed, and then I did 80-day obsession and never looked back. I had things that I had to work through. And that is part of the reason why we need to connect with people, because, that was, a pretty intimate part of my life that I decided to share with my coach, where I was talking about my eating disorder and all of this stuff. And, I got through it, and I'm here on the other side, and it's great. But I wouldn't have done that with just anybody, or I would have done it sooner. So if you guys have a notepad, I did make a couple notes that I want you guys to jot down, just about developing your story, if you feel like you are struggling. So, what you're going to learn quickly is that your coaching revolves around your storytelling, which is, what
yes.
this all is about. So places to get stories from. Stories are things that you tell yourself, like how I mentioned in my post, I was talking about my flabby arms. Those are stories. Those are things that I, used to tell myself. Now I don't tell myself. Very relevant for people to think that you can think differently from your current thought process. Or you can share motivational posts, how you tell yourself, I can do this, never give up, I'm strong, etc. You can share stories about your own experiences, struggles that you've overcame or still battling, even your experiences with Beachbody products, like our workout programs, our Shakeology. I need to make a post here. I will make a post here in the next week or two, because I do not talk about it enough, how I am medicine free with my PCOS and hypothyroidism because of Shakeology. Shakeology did that for me. I hated being on those medicines, and it might not be the right path for everybody, because everyone's different and they should talk to their doctor, but it worked for me. And that is life changing for me, because I'm not like anti-medicine, but the less crap I have to be on each day, the better. So, sharing these stories of, and getting personal with all of that. And then also sharing parts about your coaching. Even if you have just one challenger, or just one person that's trusted you with your journey, or even if you have people that haven't signed up with you that have reached out and said, I appreciate that you posted this or something. I have plenty of people that message me that have no intention of joining my group, but they say it anyway. Share your stories with that. Share things that make you a coach and a leader in other people's eyes. I had 0 working coaches for until August. So that was 3 months, 4 months that I had zero working coaches, but I was still presenting myself as a leader. And it wasn't a facade. It is exactly how I chose to see myself and represent myself, because I knew that the people would come, and I knew that I was leading. Even if I didn't have any traction yet, even if I felt like I was spinning my tires, I knew that I was meant to be a coach. And I shared it in my stories, and I talked about all of the effort that I was putting in, because I didn't want all of this effort to be something that was just behind the scenes and showing a highlight reel. And that's something I'm still continuing to work on sharing. But the more nitty gritty that I show, the more real this becomes for other people and relatable. And they decide in these little moments, before they reach out to you with a message or before they respond to your invite, in these little moments, they make a decision, yes or no. So it's just really important, guys. I feel like I'm ranting a little bit, but also I'm just going to kind of go with it because I feel like people need to hear it. Your personal story is like the most valuable thing that you own. There is nothing out there, nothing in the world out there like you. There is no other person out there like Jordan, like Helen, like Allie, like Danny, like Kayla, like anybody that's going to listen to this call. Your ability to tell your own story and to share your story, it is unlimited potential that you guys are just waiting to unlock. When I started being a coach, I reached out to Ashley and had a lot of limiting beliefs and felt like I couldn't do it, especially because I was plus size, but because I just had no freaking idea what I was talking about. And, it came upon me, after that conversation with Ashley where she urged me, to share my journey because it's unique. But also when I was sitting at Summit and I was listening to these stories of all of these amazing people, I realized that not sharing my story would just be irresponsible, because I am one in a lifetime. I am uniquely me. I'm one in a million. I have, stuff to offer. I have a story. I have battle wounds. I have scars. I have things that I have gone through. I have things that I'm going through. And by sharing that story, I am being me. I am being the most me that I can possibly be, because I am connecting with other human beings on things that are relatable. And, sometimes it's things like depression or anxiety that isn't talked about enough. But it is something that people need to hear, whether they sign up for my group or not. And, they 9 times out of 10, if they are connecting with my story and they're looking for a way to change, those are going to be the little things that make them decide to be with me. It's just and I think like once you get in the habit of sharing your authentic, wholehearted self to the world, your message is going to start bringing your people to you. It's going to bring your tribe to you. It's going to make you feel like you aren't selling anything. At the beginning, when I was sending out my invites, I was like, oh, it just like feels a little yucky. And I feel like I'm just urging people to sign up for my group. But the more I started to share my story, the more I realized, wow, I'm really in this because I love this. I love what I do. I love connecting with people. And I got in the habit of sharing myself, and it made it so much easier for me to do invites. The more authentic that I was, the more authentic I felt in my invites, reaching into people's inboxes. I didn't feel like a Beachbody coach reaching out to people. I felt like Brittany reaching out to people that she wanted to change their life. So I just want you guys to take a minute of reflection, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. I want you guys to really reflect on yourself and what makes you you, because like I said, it's just like almost irresponsible to not share what you have to say. There are people that need to know you. There are people that need to know your journey. And, it's part of what makes us credible humans. So, yeah. Does anybody have any questions or anything? No? Okay. Who's laughing? Oh my God, Killa, what? Are you laughing because of why you had to leave?
Sorry.
I'm coming down from like this like pep talk of a lifetime, and I look at your message and I was like, oh, okay.
Y'all, I could not help it. I could not hold it any longer. Sorry.
Oh my God. Anyway, okay.
I heard you.
That's great. I'm glad.
I could hear you.
Okay. I'm happy for you. Okay, so
okay.
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, you know, kind of more on like the moment I had of realizing like every post does not have to be an invite post, like a direct, like, hey, if you want to join or whatever. I really want to challenge you guys to start sharing more of your journey, like Brittany's been talking about, and sharing more of your story. And, you know, I talked to her a little bit about this before because I was struggling with thinking like my story really wasn't like amazing or significant. Even though I preach to y'all that your stories are significant, but I still struggle with like, I don't really have anything cool. I don't want to say cool, but like, I just don't have like this crazy story to really share. It's just, I got into this because I wanted to, you know, not be another statistic and as a mom and completely lose yourself. And, you know, that's kind of like my story. So I'm trying like really hard, even myself, to, you know, share more of that and share more of the raw, like real things. And it's allowing me to kind of, I don't know, it's almost like therapy for me when I straight up pour out like my heart and soul in a post that's super vulnerable. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever, at least I got it out because I know someone else out there needs to read it, even if they're, you know, not overweight or they're not really focused on certain things. Like sometimes like women just need to, they know they need something more and they need something to keep their sanity. And especially as a mom, like looking back how I used to be compared now, it's like I need this type of thing more than I did before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and again, I'm not trying to pull the mom card, but I'm just saying like you've got to really think like when you go to post something, they don't always have to be like these in-depth, heartfelt, you know, tear-jerking posts, but when you go to do those meaningful ones, you really need to think, okay, how did I feel in that picture? Like if it's a transformation photo, how did I feel in that picture? Like the transformation photo I did last time, it was, I don't remember what I put myself beside. Oh, it was a month after I had the boys. It wasn't that I was like really disgusted with myself or unhappy. I kind of was happy. I didn't gain a lot of weight when I was pregnant, which was shocking, but I still was heavy. I still was heavier than I had been before, but I still was happy. But the thoughts that were going through my head didn't really pertain to that type of stuff. It was just other things that were going through my mind as a new mom. And so I thought about that. Okay, how did I feel that night? How did I feel during that time period of being a new mom? I did not think I would be to where I was now as far as my body goes and actually being happy with my body. I've never been happy with my body until now. And it just happens to be after I had the twins. Like you give people so much hope when you share your journey and you share more about you and less about join me, you know? And so I really challenge you guys to, on your post, you know, over the next week or whatever, kind of like I did the 7 days of no quotes for 7 days or something, like y'all just took that and ran with it. I think you guys need to really be mindful and intentional about your post and your words, because you all have a story, a special story, and you need to share more of it. And what these programs and stuff have done for you. They've done different things for every single one of you. It hasn't always just been about weight loss for all of us. It's not about that. It's about there's more to it, and people need to see this is not just another like weight loss gimmick. This is not just, oh, drink some keto coffee and lose some weight. No, this is like life-changing. Separate yourself from the herd. Show them what you've got and what you can bring to the table and what this can do for them.
Yes. All of it. Seriously, all of it. Like, it's just, it's so true and so relatable because like I literally I feel like it's pretty obvious that I have, you know, my own kind of gig going on in my page. Like earlier today I got somebody that was asking me if I like coffee. Obviously I like coffee. Look at my freaking page. I've got like 3 coffee posts in my last 9.
Do you want to lose weight with that coffee?
Oh yeah.
You
I
don't have to work
do
out.
want to lose weight. No, I don't want to lose. No. Well, I mean, like I do, but not with that, you know. And it's just like little things, you know, like Kayla said, separate yourself from the herd. And it doesn't have to be about, you know, weight loss. There are plenty of people who sign up that just want, like Kayla said, something more for themselves. I have plenty of moms who reach out to me and they're like, I actually had one of my challengers from a while ago reach out to me and she said, I felt so selfish when I signed up because I didn't know if this was going to take away from my family or, you know, you know, like, you know, I felt bad spending the money on myself. And she said, this was probably the least selfish thing that I've ever done. She's like, because I know that I am a better person and a better mom for my daughter, putting this time aside for myself.
Yep.
You know, it's just, it's little things like that. It's, you know, we have something so unique to offer. It is not just Shakeology. It is not just Beachbody On Demand. It is not just Energize. What we have to offer is giving people control over their life, making people feel worth it in that exact moment. I am not at my lowest weight that I've ever been. You know, that is a work in progress. However, my mindset from, you know, say like one of like the lower weights, you know, that I remember, I was freaking miserable. I still had my binge eating disorder. My depression was out of control. My social anxiety kept me from enjoying high school. That's how long ago this was. You know, all of these things, but I was at my lowest weight. Fast forward to now, I'm continuing to work on myself, but I very much so love the person that I am now, which is not only something that I never thought I would ever say, but being able to say it where I'm at right here, right now, I've never been happier. Like that is something that no coffee or shake or anything is ever going to replace, you know, so we've just got to hone in on that. So, what I would like you guys to do, yes.
I also want to say that it's the thing that I think people lack a lot of is the support from the home life, support from family and friends. I've told Joel numerous times, like I don't really. It's not that I don't think that they support me, but even my own friends, like they don't really like congratulate me on things that occur in the coaching world. Okay. Mm-hmm. But sometimes what they really just need is the sisterhood, the friendships, the community, the fellowship, and things like that. And I feel like y'all feel like we're family. We're family, if you will. We text each other. I feel like I talk to many of you all the time. And so it's just like, let's like stop talking about, you know, the results and stuff every now and then. Let's talk about the mindset change, and let's talk about the support and the love and the things that you guys are getting that you cannot get from coffee and other things. And you know, we get called out all the time. Like we're quick to call each other out, like, hey, did you work out yet? Like it's tough love, but it's love, right? And so it's like, where else can you get this? I don't remember even getting it from my boot camp classes I used to go to. Like if I didn't go, yeah, they would say something to me the next time, but it was never like, I never got to the point where it's like they would make me go. They weren't texting me at 4 a.m. saying, hey, are you up? You know, so we've got something special. And so people want to be a part of something. They want to be a part of something and feel like they're a part of it, and they want to experience it. And that's why I'm all about sharing our virtual workouts, when they happen, because I've been guilty of that here lately. But I'll share. I wanted to tell you all this too. I've started sharing the sweaty selfie post, and I'll blur out the people's faces because I don't want to just expose everyone in the group. But I show that because I do that also on purpose, because it's like you can't see all these faces, but you can see me scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Like there's stuff going on behind that curtain. If you want to know what it's about, come on in, sis. So I like them to see the parts of the group. And so I want to encourage y'all, like, share what you want to share on the group. Just keep people's names out of it and stuff, because I don't like sharing people's names, but and faces. But share those things. Give them a little like inside peek, but just dangle the carrot. Just dangle the carrot and talk about like how we are keeping each other accountable. We always talk about, oh, these are accountability groups. We keep you accountable. How do we? Right? And I share, y'all know, I share the NSVs, like some of my favorite non-scale victories every week. So people see people are having success more than just the weight loss. So sorry.
No, it's great. It taps into exactly what I was going to talk about. So I have a project for you guys, a little homework, if you will.
The group project?
No. Group projects suck. Group projects are the worst, and everybody knows it. It's a fact, and I can guarantee that every person on this call was the person actually doing the work while the other people slacked off. So, yeah. Which is why we're here at 9:00 at night. But what I'm getting at is I want you guys to share. I'm going to create a thread on the Runner Circle page, so it's all people that you love, blah blah blah. I want you guys to share the post, like when it's relevant to your insights, because that's part of what we're working with. However, I'm going to make a thread where I want you guys to share a post that you guys are going to post on your social media, where you are getting out there, where you are sharing some battle scar that you have. Like I said, I've got, my battle scars, I've got my things that I've gone through, and that is part of what makes me vulnerable. I want you guys, it doesn't have to be a lengthy post. I want you guys to take tips from this call, do a little soul searching like I told you guys to do, and craft a post that is going to speak to people's hearts. It doesn't end with an invite. It's just a post to say, this is me. This is me. Pretty much like that's it. But I'm going to make a thread, and I want you guys, when I started adding myself, like I said, before I felt like at the very beginning of my coaching journey, I felt like a beach body coach getting in people's inboxes. And the more authentic I became to myself and the more I shared my story, if you guys need me to share that little slideshow I did before about, limiting beliefs, I can, for a little bit of love, tough love, but love still. I felt like me getting into these people's inboxes. It really does help with the invite process, like I said. So I will post that here in a little bit. You guys can think about it overnight if you need to. Just do that soul searching. Like that picture that I found, I literally sat down in my car after work, after our staff meeting or whatever, and I was scrolling through my phone because I was like, oh, cool, I haven't taken any pictures recently because I've had like a really shitty week. And so I was scrolling through my phone and I found that picture and I was like, oh, that one's kind of cute. And I literally almost sent it to Kayla, and I was like, this is the picture I'm going to use, but I don't know what caption to put under it. And I was like, no, I think she's busy. I thought she was like packing or something. She would have responded anyway.
Yeah, I was packing.
But I was like, oh, no. I was like, I'll just think of something. And out came this post, and it took me like 5 minutes, and I was thinking, like exactly what Kayla said. When you took that picture, think about how you felt. And I remember standing in that mirror and I'm being like, holy ish, I'm 5'8" and I'm wearing heels. Holy ish, I'm overweight and I'm wearing heels. I'm wearing a strapless dress. I'm showing my arms. I'm showing my legs. Like, and I'm going to go wear this to a formal event where there are going to be pictures. And I would have literally rather worn that outfit in front of 20,000 people I didn't know instead of like 40 of the people that I love the most, because we were at a rehearsal dinner for my sister. And I reflected on those feelings, and, you know, I did a little, you know, positive spin on it, because that's what my, you know, page is all about. You know, it's all about rainbows, but it is about silver linings. And I just spoke from the heart, and it showed in my engagement, because I could just tell that there were words in there that spoke to people, you know, and sometimes that's all what it is about. Now I'm going to turn around and invite people from these posts, but I can guarantee that if I would have said, you deserve to feel this way too, sign up for my boot camp, I would have gotten like a tenth of the engagement. And there is a time and a place for those posts, but that wasn't one of them. So that's my project for you guys. I can't wait to see these, because this is the kind of stuff that fills my cup up, is seeing you guys be you. The version of you that we know and love because we've gotten to know you.
Right.
I want your guys' followers to see that too. Do you have anything, Kayla?
I don't have anything. No.
Anybody have any questions before we hop off of here? I know Danny's getting her wad in. Crickets.
Okay. I guess.
Okay, good talk, guys.
Good talk.
Let me stop this recording here.